Hi, it's Mary Allen with IT in Canada, and I'm here today at Toronto's EMC Forum, speaking with Sujal Patel, who's the founder of Isilon and president of EMC's Isilon Storage Division, and Michael Sharun, managing director of EMC Canada. Thanks, gentlemen, for taking the time to speak with me today. My first question, I guess, is for Sujal, and I'm interested in the benefits of cloud to the end user, and often what's talked about is the ability to source or to move to a provider that offers the best service at the best price. But at the same time, for end user customers, this could have the potential for some disruption in the enterprise. So I'm wondering what EMC is doing in storage to support data portability.
It's interesting, you talk about being able to move workloads and applications to the lowest cost provider. We actually see a hybrid approach that customers are going to take. One, modernizing their infrastructure and improving the efficiency and automation within their infrastructure to create a private cloud environment, and then leveraging the agility that they get there, being able to leverage public cloud environments for burst capacity, for workflows where the economics may be better. And inside of our products today, we're very focused on making the management of the public and private cloud together and the federation of workflows seamless. And so, for example, earlier this year we introduced the capability in our VMAX product line, which is the leading high-end block product in the industry. We introduced a capability called Federated Live Migration, which enables you to move transparently volumes and applications from one array to another and move them in a seamless fashion, enabling these types of hybrid cloud workflows. And we're building those capabilities both on the management and federation side across the products in our portfolio.
Okay, so for an IT manager in an end user organization, what do they have to do to plan to make storage work in this kind of hybrid environment?
Well, so I think that from a planning perspective, I think it's important to talk through the phases of the journey to the cloud. We view that customers are going through a few distinct phases here. One is really focused on taking their IT infrastructure, automating it, moving file and print applications initially, and test and dev types of applications and web applications into virtualized environments, and improving the agility of the infrastructure. That's phase one. Phase two is we see the movement of traditional mainstream tier one applications, Oracle databases, SharePoint, Exchange, SAP, into virtualized environments, and really creating the ability to have those applications respond dynamically to the changes in the IT environment and the business needs that are out there. And then really in phase three, we see the addition of public cloud capabilities and really delivering IT as a service where it's automated, it's delivered as productized elements, you understand the cost effectively. So if you back up that journey and you come to the beginning, what IT professionals need to be thinking about today is building their infrastructures and their next generation data centers with technologies that are already thinking through the issues that hybrid cloud imposes, issues around federation of data, around management with single pane of glass across the public and private cloud, around security and compliance and governance. And EMC's been very focused on those three areas and has been very vocal in talking about the importance of them relative to implementations of hybrid cloud technology.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Another trend that we heard about in the presentations today is the growth of big data. So how are storage products and solutions evolving to meet not only the needs of dynamic environments, but also big data?
So big data is an interesting trend, and to some degree, the growth of big data in the enterprise is correlated to how effectively an enterprise can use that big data and leverage it to make their business more competitive, to generate new revenue opportunities, to add value strategically to the business. When we think about big data infrastructures and evolutions, I think it's important to think through the evolutions that have happened across the infrastructure stack. If you went back 20 years, we had a server. The server had applications on top of it. It was connected with a network to storage. The server was monolithic, the storage was monolithic, and there was pairing there. Today, we don't deal with monolithic server environments. We deal with huge sets of compute across industry standard x86 commoditized servers, and we leverage virtualization technology to couple that compute together into a powerful, flexible utility. It's enabled a new class of applications which are far more data hungry than ever before. Going with a clustered virtualized compute layer involves you then making that change on the storage layer, so the storage layer isn't a bottleneck. And that architectural transition is a transition that we call scale out. And if you look at everything that we're doing related to big data, if you look at what we're doing with the EMC Isilon technology with respect to scalability of network-attached storage systems, it leverages the scale-out architecture. If you look at what we're doing with Greenplum and Hadoop on the analytics side of the big data challenge, we leverage scale-out architectures. If you look at our VMAX products today, which are the leaders in the high-end block space, we leverage a scale-out architecture. And what that scale-out architecture enables you to do is break the shackles that a single monolithic storage system design has. And so by creating that flexible scalability within the storage layer, we enable our customers to dramatically simplify the task of storing and managing their big data. We reduce the cost of that storage over time, and we enable a level of scalability and performance that meets the demand of these new applications, which are incredibly data hungry.
Mike, speaking of customers, I wonder if we could move to Canada for a minute. I'm interested in the VCE, which is, I think, your alliance with Cisco and VMware to provide a unified computing environment for customers as the basis for building a private cloud. Can you talk a little bit about what inroads this alliance has helped you build in the Canadian market?
Sure. When our customers are looking to enhance their IT way of life, to build infrastructures based around a cloud environment, it's really important that we come to the table with solutions. And having an alliance together with Cisco and VMware gives us the capability to address every part of an IT infrastructure to deliver a solution back to the customer. So that, together with our other partners in Canada who provide integration services and expertise, really ensure that our customers deploy something that's very, very seamlessly scalable in their environment and is able to handle the elements of their business needs going forward.
Okay. I'm interested in the market opportunity in Canada for cloud and for storage. Is supplying the large internet service provider who's maybe building a public service, or is it supplying the enterprise customer that's building a private cloud?
Well, it's really both. We see the movement to a public cloud being somewhat slower here in Canada than there may be in other parts of the world. And that revolves a lot around the data privacy that we have and the ability that we need to keep the data in-house here in Canada. That being said, we're supporting and working with a number of different providers here to create cloud infrastructures to give organizations the capability to move to a public cloud. But just like with any other technology, you really need to make sure that your own house is neat and set up and clean before you do that. And to do that, we're working with our enterprise customers and also our small, medium business customers to ensure that they're deploying the principles around cloud computing, the structure around cloud computing, so they're able to take advantage of having a low-cost model that's very scalable and that can address the business requirements of their organization going forward. So it's really working in tandem with both to ensure that we're developing something and delivering something for the Canadian marketplace.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned the small to medium business, because traditionally EMC has been a provider to the larger enterprise. So how do you see EMC reaching out to the SMB customer in Canada?
Well, from a Canadian perspective, let me address the first part, and then I'll let Sujal handle it from an overall EMC side. Okay. So here in Canada, now because of all of the different sizes of products that we have under one architecture, we now have a number of partners across the country who are delivering solutions at a low cost to a different marketplace than we've ever been before. Add that into the fact that we also have an iOmega product line that is handling even the home environment, gives people and organizations the ability to have something from the very low end all the way to the high end. And that's something that's being very successful in Canada, which is traditionally a mid-tier market.
From a worldwide perspective, EMC's heritage is larger enterprise customers. If you think about the first product line we introduced in the storage space, it was really focused at high-end block environments. But today, we have a wide range of products that come down even under the $10,000 price point and provide lower end and mid-range storage that is enterprise class but at a much lower price point. With those new products, we've also had to adapt our strategies and how we go to market as well. So, for example, one of the things that we've done is we've put a tremendous amount of investment and focus on building out our relationships with the partner community, with the channel, to be able to use the channel to leverage the much broader reach to get access to those smaller and medium businesses. It's an important part of EMC's strategy going forward.
Mm-hmm. Great, thanks. I've saved the best question for the last. EMC has been a leader in establishing the link between cloud and carbon savings. Can you help us understand where the savings could come from and what order of magnitude and reduction an adopter might expect to see if they adopted cloud computing?
That's a wonderful question. There is a direct linkage between customers' cost, customers' carbon footprint, customers' power usage, and the efficiency of their infrastructure. And that's where that relationship comes from. If you went back to a world before virtualization, the average physical server was only utilized 10 or 20%. Today, the compute plants of highly virtualized Fortune 100 customers that we work with are utilized at the 80% mark. That means less power, less cooling that's required, dramatically lower footprint in our environment. If you look at storage systems, before scale-out architectures like our EMC Isilon scale-out architecture were being deployed for multi-petabyte big data types of environments, what you would end up with is you'd end up with lots of separate physical systems that would each be filled to maybe 50 or 60%, wasting half of the capacity that's on those systems. You know, our customers for EMC Isilon commonly run their systems at 85 to 90% utilization. And so when you think about the improvements that we're getting here, you're talking about sort of a half to a fifth of the carbon footprint by just dramatically improving the efficiency of the infrastructure that you have. And then from there, as we continue to evolve our infrastructures toward the public cloud, as we continue to expand the number of end-user devices that are out there with tablets and with mobile phones, you end up with a more fluid environment where you can reduce travel, you can make the work environment a more geographically distributed thing. All of those things will have dramatic impacts on the amount of carbon that we put in the atmosphere, the sustainability of the work that we do.
A win-win. Thank you very much for your insight today. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.